An intro.
Oh, thank goodness.
Not that much.
Well, I want to do
like.
like a humorous thing that I can say at the beginning because I have something just like
Your,
an intro phrase.
your humorous is a bone.
You get the outro, I thought.
Well, no.
I'm glad you guys talked about
Well,
this because I'm coming in blind.
Yeah,
It's been a long day at work.
But
I'm not following.
I'm talking like saying a few
Oh yeah,
words.
I'll go to you and stuff.
Actually,
All right, rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. No, I'm just kidding.
no.
Don't touch it that much.
You go.
How about you start us?
Thanks, man. The only one here who's unprepared.
But none of us are prepared.
Okay.
And I'll do it.
All right.
I have
got
something
it.
prepared.
Yeah, I'd say I got something.
You got an
Do you want an
introduction?
intro?
Yeah, I can do an
All
intro.
right.
It has to be serious.
Happy Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
This is.
we don't celebrate Hanukkah.
It's a joke.
It's a Christmas episode. We can't introduce it with
Okay.
Hanukkah.
Well, it's a joke, but okay.
And for the sake
All
of
right.
Christian
Three.
nationalism, please
Yeah, okay,
introduce
okay.
with
Okay.
Christmas.
Three.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
Three.
Okay.
Everyone silent for a little bit so we can cut this part.
No, don't cut this part. This is the best.
It's hilarious. We could have this as like a bonus.
Caleb
the
looked at me
end.
like, we're cutting this part. It's happening.
All right, let's do it.
Are you introducing us?
Yes. 3, 2, 1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hidden Dagger. I'm Joey Dagger, and I am full of Christmas cheer and holiday merriment.
All right. Thanks for tuning into this. This is our official first episode, right?
Yes.
It's a flagship.
Because we had another one, but someone forgot to
Someone forgot to turn on the well.
Who?
It's a long story,
was
but
that?
one of the cameras cut out.
Yeah.
4 minutes
This
in.
is our
So yeah.
That person is no longer on the podcast. They're
Yeah,
not
we
allowed
fired.
back.
We got rid of
Yeah, fired.
Originally had 4 people on, and no, we don't.
They're not the herd.
We'll
How's
take care
everyone's-
of that with guests.
So this episode will probably go out around Christmas time. So
Yeah.
by the time this is out, hopefully it'll be awkward if we post this at like January. Like it's a little late, guys.
Around Valentine's Day. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
Explosive.
Well, I just didn't want to get on. Yeah, I was being polite.
Went all over my hand.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like, all right, this we'll start with. I feel like I'm recovering from a bit of a cold, as you can tell.
Yeah, we can tell. It's okay. As Grace, because last week I was bad off.
Yeah.
You
Since
could hear
Jordan-
And then we
last
all
week.
got it.
As we are, entering this Christmas
Sorry, guys.
period. Any of y'all have any special Christmas memories that you can remember that stand out over the years? Josh, you go first.
Oh man, just like that.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, I remember the first time that we got a go-kart when I was a kid for Christmas. It was like something that my parents and grandparents had put together, and they all kind of chipped in, and it was like this massive
Nice.
box the size of a VW Beetle out
Wow.
in the yard, and they were like, "Let's go outside and see what that is." My brother and I were like, "Yeah, we totally don't know."
Wait, how old were you?
Oh man,
14.
I was a little young. I was a chitlin at that time. I must have been about 8,
Nice.
maybe a little older, because I was thinking, Gethin's 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Way to dox the pastor's son on the podcast.
What about you, Joseph?
Christmas memories.
Just pick one.
Well, there was
two.
one year when I was quite young, and there was this like mass. I was it was in North Carolina. I won't say where, but it was in a place where it normally doesn't snow very much. And one year there was a massive snow that just came in, I think like Christmas Day, and I kid you not, the night before I had prayed that we would have snow for Christmas.
Nice.
And we got snow
White Christmas.
on Christmas Day. We got a white Christmas. We went out, we played in the snow, and it was like a lot of snow too, so it was great. We built igloos and stuff. It was pretty tight.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. I think for me, I know there's so many to choose from. I mean, one stands out. I think it was in 2013. We were in San Diego. And there's nothing like
California,
Christmas where Christmas morning we open the presents with cousins and stuff, and then you go for a swim like an hour later.
Hey.
In the
Only
ocean?
in California, in a pool. But
Oh.
the point is, it's warm enough to go swimming on Christmas Day.
That's
that
awkward.
doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
And I think there's one other. I know that probably stands out as the most because surrounded by family.
Yeah.
I don't even remember like the presents I got all, but it was just being with the people I loved, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's warm enough to go swimming Christmas Day anywhere in the world if you're brave enough.
Yeah, you're
Go for
right.
that polar
Yeah.
plunge.
Speaking of polar plunges, we've been watching this on Limitless. Not Limitless. It's a show on Disney Plus with Chris Hemsworth called Limitless, and he's basically, it's like I don't know how many episodes it is, maybe 6 or 7, where each episode he's like facing something. Like the first episode is about stress,
Ooh.
and he faced the thing he like is doing all these things that can basically help him live longer. So like for stress, he walked on this crane that was extending from a building that was 900 feet tall,
Oh my goodness.
and it was obviously it's safe and all, but it was just
Mad
talking about the
lad.
stress and how, and the whole episode was talking about how much of stress plays a part in our lives, and how it can literally, if you have too much stress, it can, in so many words, lead to heart disease, cancer,
Yeah.
just by the fact. And then the second episode was shock. So basically, he went to the Arctic, and then up near Norway, and he went on a polar plunge. So he literally, in 37-degree water, swam like 300 feet
I would do
across
that.
the bay.
That is
And it
fascinating.
was talking about how, how do I put this? I know when your body is exposed to such drastic measures, it kicks into a different gear, and how our body. It's talking about how our bodies have so much more. They can do so much more than we.
Well, that's what the Navy SEAls do.
Yeah.
So
They
once-
condition by staying in the freezing water
Yeah.
for hours
Yeah.
on end.
But anyway, so, and then the third one was the fasting, and he fasted for 4 days, and it was talking about all the health benefits of when you fast.
Boo-hoo. I know a guy who did it for 40.
We all know a guy who did it for 40.
Anyway,
40 nights, too.
But the point was, when you fast for 4 days, basically the cells that their job is to help get energy and stuff. Since there's no food, they'll start like cleaning out bad cells, basically. In so many words, I think there's a better term for this, but basically that's why fast. Once you get to 4 days, and then it was talking about how when you first start fasting, the first day is okay, right? Once you hit the second day, it's a little. It starts. You start to feel drowsy and whatnot, and then when you hit the third and the fourth, you get this spike of energy because it's your body telling you, okay, we're starving, we need to go hunt.
Yeah.
And it was talking about how this tribe in Africa, I think it was in Tanzania, how they're able to like literally keep even go days without food, yet they still have the energy to go hunt. And it was just pretty remarkable. And then as Chris was doing all this, sure enough, the third, fourth day, he got a spike in energy, and he was able to to end the fast, he had to go to the bottom. He had to go diving with a spear gun
Whoa.
and shoot a fish.
Oh
and
my
that
gosh.
was his meal.
That's part of
But
the rite of passage.
But he has
was a heck of a-
but he has like more energy when he's doing it. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
he
like,
got a spike of energy.
masculine vitality.
So that's what I was watching last night.
That's insane. Like
It's pretty cool. It's
Chris,
a 7 episode. They're like more episodes, and we'll keep
what,
watching.
what's that on?
Is
Disney?
that why you weren't feeling well this morning?
Is that
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus? So it's basically Thor tortures himself for, I don't know,
Yeah, he's trying to look for stuff that will help him live longer, healthier.
by.
Man, so many people are afraid of death. They do
Yeah.
so many things
So
to shirk it.
I mean, I think in some ways things like that, like we kind of shock your body. In some ways, things like that sometimes can actually like strengthen you, make you live longer.
Yeah.
But you gotta be careful because like if you like
Absolutely.
traumatize yourself, it can actually make you like age faster. So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you make a good point. How many people were all afraid of death and all, but Chris was, every time he talked about it, it's not like he didn't ever say he's afraid of death. He just wants to be around for his loved ones, his kids, his grandkids,
Yeah.
as long as he can, and these are all like, all these this like, exposing your body to shock and stress. I don't think they're 100%. It's not 100% certain that this will help healthy, but there's a good possibility and a good chance, and why not?
Yeah.
And it was also
Plus,
talking
it makes for a
about,
cool show.
it is, and it was also talking about little things you can do, like if you end your shower with a 30 seconds on cold, Like that can have so many health benefits. Just that little thing.
Yeah, I've heard stuff about cold showers in the
That's what we did in Africa.
in the
Not by choice.
blogosphere. I've heard people talking about cold showers. Yeah, you gotta take your cold showers, bro. You gotta touch grass and take cold showers.
When we did it in Africa though, like it's different here. Like in the winter, it's 30 degrees outside. You come in and to take a cold shower will be brutal. Like there were some days where it was brutal, but like on a day where you come in and it's 95 degrees and you go take a shower, it feels great.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I'm jumping in the shower.
I remember the best shape I've been in my life so far is when I was doing HIIT in the mornings and then coming back and taking a cold shower afterwards.
Ooh, yeah.
And that was just fantastic because, I mean, the cold shower circulates your blood. It strengthens your immune system.
That's why they say
Good for your
30
respiratory
seconds
system.
every.
Yeah.
I say we make right now, the three of us make a
I'm not
pledge.
taking a cold shower right now.
Not the cold shower. not
Okay.
right now.
But
For the next week, at the end of the
Actually,
shower,
don't shower.
30 seconds of cold water.
yeah, I'll do that.
I'll do it. I just
can
won't
do
be
that.
in it. I'll stand off to the side. Count
I'll be
down
in
from
it. I'll
30.
be
I
in
put
it.
my
I'm a man.
I put
I'm a
my
man.
shower for 30 seconds of cold water
Yeah.
and then right to the hot.
I might stick my foot in there, if it's a little warm outside.
It's brutal at first when you get in there, but once
Yeah.
you're in there,
Power.
it's around.
It's a great way to practice controlling your breathing as well.
Yeah.
Because if you're in it and you go straight
You
from
have
hot
to.
to cold, oh my goodness, dude. It's like,
You know,
it feels like the breath is being
Christmas-
stolen from your lungs.
Yeah.
on the show is that when he came out of the water, like they had the ambulance there and everything just to be safe.
Like
They're talking about
hyperventilating?
if they get him to hot, if they warm him up too fast, all that cold blood goes straight to the heart.
Yeah.
and that can kill you basically.
Yeah, if you
It's
like,
true.
if you're like hypothermic, if you like heat
You gotta
yourself up too
slowly
fast,
bring-
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And then he was doing the opposite, where he was in a sauna and it got up to 175 degrees.
Oh, that's
So
pretty
it's like
hot.
2 episodes
With him in there?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
But you do
healthy.
it like they do. You do it like they do in, I want to say, Finland, where they like get in the sauna, they'll
Yeah.
get all like steamed up, and they'll go and jump in the
the
like
snow.
ice cold, no, a hole in the ice, in a hole
Oh
in
my
the ice
goodness.
into like ice cold water. Like it's the ultimate polar
I
bear
feel like
plunge.
I would be able to handle the
For a few seconds,
I
I
could
could
handle
handle
the
it.
heat a lot more.
Nah. Well, yeah.
There okay,
I
pick
come
right
the other
now.
way around.
175 degrees in the sauna,
Dude,
or 35 degrees
It's
in water.
just swimming. I know how to swim, but once
It's
you get to a
cold,
certain
bro.
kind of heat, you can only take off so many layers of clothes.
Well, they're in a sauna, so they just have towels.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're
that's
butt
all. That's all
naked.
you've got.
When you're in the water and you start sluggish, your muscles get stiff.
Oh,
you're not
boo-hoo.
getting
I don't know
coordinated.
about you guys, but I produce a
Can't-
lot of
You
heat.
can't feel your
Dude,
fingers.
Dude, the
Your
cold
digis.
will mess you up in like ice cold polar water. It will mess you up.
Yeah, but it's
Jane,
it can
pull
only
up
get
stuff
so
about the
cold.
effects of
I know how
cold
we.
polar water.
I know how we can solve this.
We go to Antarctica.
Let's do it.
Let's go to the mountains sometime and find a lake that can be that cold, and Joshua will swim in it.
I've done it before.
For an
That's
hour.
why I'm so confident.
I'll
that
dip in
it's
it.
not
I
that
won't
bad.
swim in it for an hour because I will die, but I
Yeah.
will take a dip in it.
Man, I've
how
taken-
long? How long do you think?
Oh, we're making you swim it. I'm
How
just
long?
dipping in it.
I don't know. You get used to it. You can tread water for as long as you like. Really,
Yeah, it's true.
it really is. It's a battle of the mind
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you have to resist the
The
fight or
deep
flight
breaths,
shock urge to let your adrenaline pump through you to start panicking and being like, I have to get out of here. It's life and death.
And once
You just control your breathing. You slow down. You focus on minor movements like treading water if you're paddling, or bless you.
You must
And-
learn control.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
yeah, and once you get through that phase, your body
Yeah.
it reaches a different level.
Again, I mean, this is what Navy SEALs do for training.
Yeah,
Except they're in it for hours on end. Letting the tide wash over them. My hearing.
That's not-
my hearing. My sound just went out on the right hand
yeah,
side.
that happens. We're,
Okay.
we're still good though.
Yeah, I think that's more of just a cord thing than the
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
device. The device is fine.
But Navy SEALs are not in 30-degree weather.
No.
30-degree water. They're like
I can't imagine it's comfortable.
They're in
though.
San Diego in the water, which is cold,
Yeah.
But the water in California is cold because it's coming
But
down
not-
from Alaska.
but it's
Yeah.
not 37 degrees.
yeah,
No.
It's
it
like
is cold.
and like in the show, Chris wasn't in a wetsuit. He was in trunks.
Mm.
Like it was brutal. And then he went surfing in the same weather.
Dude, have you seen those
But he
guys?
he did surfing, and it makes me want to learn to surf. Like I
Yeah,
really
I've
would.
wanted to surf for
Surfing
years.
looks so fun.
Between him and Matthew McConaughey.
Oh
But
yeah.
what sucks is that the Atlantic is just not that good for surfing. Do people surf a lot in Florida? Do you
I don't
think?
think so.
I've never been to Florida.
Maybe-
Actually, no.
maybe at
I was there
Miami.
once for like
But
2
like
days.
like California. That's you want to go surfing, California.
Yeah.
I want to learn. I had an uncle who used to surf. He surfed a lot. Now he's old.
You said he served in the war?
He surfed.
Oh.
He was a surfer.
In the war?
Yeah.
He was
Normandy.
Spec Ops.
He was surfing along
Vietnam.
Special
surf
commandos.
Surf du Soleil. He's a
Yeah.
gymnast.
Tactical surfboards.
Sorry.
Yeah, as he's coming in.
It's like the California version of like the Finns. So like the Finns could fire like sniper rifles and like machine guns on skis, but and the Californians they can do that on surfboards.
Exactly.
If they
I
hadn't
would be
already
scared of
banned
that,
all the
dude.
guns.
Imagine D-Day, but like half the soldiers on surfboards.
That'd be so cool. Hey.
The Germans would be like, "What the heck is going on?"
Yeah, oh yeah.
They would probably just surrender
or
out of
9.
confusion.
Hey.
How many bros can we have out here hanging 10?
We gotta have all our bros out here hanging 10.
That's right.
So I will say, this is our first episode.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes, it
this
is.
today.
Okay.
This is the first episode that we will release. Starting from now on, we will start to have guests, and probably from now on, almost every episode we'll try to have a guest. Maybe every once in a while we'll have an episode of just us
A
guys.
guest or a subject. A
But
plan.
I'll just get. I know just an introduction. We got
Joseph.
Paulson. Sorry, I'll edit that out.
I am Joseph. You can call me Joseph, Joe, Joey, Joey Dagger. Many names. I am known by many names, and they all start with J.
Is that why you wear those glasses
Joshua.
to hide your identity?
I mean, it's not gonna do that much good for people who know me, but I don't want to be like, oh, Mr. Celebrity,
I don't know how long we can do a podcast for, especially if it ends up being successful and people not know you.
Yeah. People will.
Totally.
There's just a thing.
As
I
long
want
as
to have
possible.
I want to have a bit. I want to have like a
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
We got Joshua Oakley and Caleb Bach, and we all live here in North Carolina.
Are you fine with your last names and states
I
coming
have
out?
social media and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Follow me on Twitter.
We all go to the same church. We've known each other for about
A year.
a year, and we wanted to start a podcast. Felt like we had a lot to bring to the table, and that we had good conversations. I mean,
And then I joined.
and then Josh would join, and it all went
That's
downhill.
all, yeah.
I just like talking.
But,
They just keep me on for
I think
kicks and giggles.
the plan is to bring on guests and guests that we find are interesting enough and worthy to share the camera and the microphones with us.
They must be worthy.
And just to look into their lives a little bit, where they are. We're all around the same age as we're starting our lives in so many words. And we bring on a guest at the same point or a little ahead of us and how they got there, if they can share some advice to others. And then every once in a while, we'll probably have on someone who's either retired or near the end of their career, and we can soak up some of the wisdom that they have gotten over their lives. So
If they've got any.
if they got
Hopefully.
any, well, you do some research into the people,
Yeah. Hopefully.
and
make
we
it to
have a
retirement.
long list. At least I do. I don't know about them. Maybe not a long list, but a good set of people that I want on.
I got a
So-
couple people, but that's classified.
Yeah, we'll share them on. And I think we're releasing weekly. Is that
Hopefully,
game
yeah.
plan?
No.
As-
Game plan.
Game plan, yeah.
However often we can.
I feel like
we can
we
manage
post
it,
once a week.
I think we could do a series of we have the full length podcasts with our guests, and then I think we should have a series of mini episodes as well with just the three of us discussing a topic.
Yeah, that's what we
but
should.
like shorter.
Maybe we should like alternate it. We have like a guest and like a mini.
I don't know about-
mini-sode.
I mean,
Or what do you think? I don't know.
bless you. It really depends on what we've got
Yeah.
time for. Really, we're all
Yeah.
we're not very busy, but we all work.
Yeah.
We all have
This is
schedules.
a side
Caleb goes to
hustle.
school.
We're not doing
Yeah.
this
Side
full
hustle,
time.
yeah.
We're
Join
not
our
pros
Patreon.
yet.
Please subscribe.
Join our.
Please
Not
give
yet.
us money.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Sadly, my brother.
No,
there is
just
no
pandering.
Patreon.
But
yet.
I mean, just throwing around ideas. I think it would be cool to have our guests, and then also have maybe a time where we talk about just small topics we're
Yeah.
interested in.
You might want to bring your mic in just a little bit more.
Oh, thank you.
Your voice.
At least you're sounding well.
I didn't know you guys were so interested in the dulcet tones of my smooth, soft voice.
You
Well,
do
I
have
feel
an
like-
interesting voice, I will say.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pimple peppers.
Anyway, but yeah,
Thanks.
that's sort of the
That's
game
enough.
plan. And yeah,
We're definitely going to bring politics into it.
we'll try to not.
Not so much.
But
Yeah, we're gonna. you're gonna have to
Anyway.
fight us too.
Ever
Anyway,
since
politics
the
out.
red
Anyone watch
wave
any of the
turned
World
into more
Cup?
of a red splash, it's more like
Anyone been watching any of the World
yeah.
Cup?
Well, I saw Canada get beaten by Ecuador. That was pretty funny.
That was
Yeah.
That was a Canada. They had a good offense,
Did they?
and but their defense just let it. The defense was awful, full of MLS players. No offense to MLS, but they're just not as good.
Kind of like Canada as a country. Their defense is
Okay.
pretty bad. They let in a lot of immigrants.
Oh, come on.
But
now.
other than that, the World Cup's been great. I love the
You're so
World
mean
Cup.
to
Every
Canadians,
4
bro.
years, I remember back in Africa, when I lived in Africa.
Oh, they're big on soccer there.
Big on soccer.
Yeah.
Every time the World Cup, we gather. I remember in 2014, Argentina versus Germany. It was like
Man.
it was 12 a.m. our time in Uganda, where we were, and I remember we go to the local town, and there's like 60 of us, crowded outside, around this TV that's like a box TV.
Yeah.
It was old, so
A
it's
tube
probably
TV.
like this size,
Yeah.
and we're all crowded around, and yeah, it was what a night. And the funniest parts where we're all there, and right when a big moment's about to happen, the waitress who's oblivious to what's going on just walks right in front of the TV, and everyone's like, "No!" Now, soccer is not like
True female.
it's not like some sports where you it's not like you're missing every
Yeah.
moment, but it was fun. And then 2018, same thing. We'd go to people's house. Yeah, people's houses, gather around the little TV. It was really fun, and this World Cup it's been cool to be able to do it here. And yeah,
Yeah. You miss
Soccer-
that kind of community from Africa? The
Little
way
bit,
that people
yeah.
kind of gather together for events like that?
yeah, soccer in our lives in Africa was very very tight. You knew
It like brought people together.
I mean, just like here, one of the struggles when I came back was the first year was the fact before I had my license, before I knew the Wyerks or the Groovers as well, like in 2019, because we moved here in 2018.
For those who don't know, those are friends from church.
Those are friends from church. Yes, those are some of their friends. When I didn't have as many friends, I just felt like I would see friends like on Sunday at church, and I had to go the whole week being at home doing school, and I felt kind of trapped because where I lived in Africa, where we were literally, I had so much more freedom. I felt like. Now again, this is before I had my license and a car and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but back there, I could literally go out, go hiking in the mountains all day with my friends, and literally, I felt like I had more freedom and range. So when I first came, it was definitely a hard adjustment. But now that I got a lot more friends, built stronger relationships. I have a car, I have a license.
Yeah.
That's changed, and yeah. Not that I don't miss Africa. Africa will always have a special place in my heart, and I plan on. I visited once last year, and
You did?
I did. I returned
Yeah, I didn't
in April of 2021 for 6 weeks.
How long was it? How long was it for?
6 to 7 weeks. And,
67 weeks?
6 to 7 weeks.
It's a whole year, but
That's kind of long.
Yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it, but now, I could see myself going back one day, maybe with y'all.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take y'all one day. But for the moment, I'm focused on what I'm doing with where I wanted my career to be at, and so.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, what I do not miss is the flying.
Oh, really?
The international travel is it's a mess.
Yeah, international
It's hard.
international travel is rough, especially when you're like going through the
airport
stuff. Yeah,
Once
yeah.
you get to the plane, you just relax.
I like being in the plane. I like watching the movies. I watched some good movies.
in-flight
last time
meals?
I was on a flight. What?
The in-flight meals?
They're
I don't know why people talk bad about airplane food.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah,
I can serve you the weirdest looking stuff, like a slice of ham and a baked potato, and for some reason it tastes so good.
Yeah, it's not like amazing, and it looks gross, but it tastes fine.
Maybe it's because you're crammed in a tin can with like 250
you,
other people.
I
for
could not
11
agree.
hours.
I could not disagree more.
Oh, really? I guess you've had more
I
experience.
hate plane food. When I was
do you
young,
fly with?
What's
Virgin
the
Atlantic?
deal with airline food?
we flew British Airways, we flew
British.
KLM, we flew Brussels. But
What?
It's a great Seinfeld reference.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like it's the fact that
It
it's in a
cracked me
box and it has like it could be
There is a little plastic in it. You
Yeah.
can definitely sense that.
and when I was younger, this is awful for me. I would not eat the entire flight, like a 10-hour flight. I wouldn't eat. I would hardly drink. I would literally just watch a movie the entire time.
You know,
I'd
Caleb,
come off the plane.
the sermon a few weeks ago
bloodshot.
said you're not supposed to brag about fasting. So, sorry.
Yeah, you gotta watch out there.
It
Son.
wasn't purposely fasting.
Just kidding.
But it made me feel awful because when you don't eat and all, you just like it's not
Yeah.
car sick because we're not in a car, but you know what I mean, like that
Yeah, motion sickness.
Yeah.
motion sickness.
Would you ever
And it
take
made
anything
me-
and just sleep?
I did sometimes, but then I think what really set me off from plain food was we flew Ethiopian Airlines one time, which we did. It was a cheap. We got good deals on the tickets, but the airport was awful. It smelled of smoke.
Gosh.
Because they had like smoking areas, right?
Okay.
Oh,
But the
yeah.
whole airport reeked of smoking.
So it was like stuck
And
in
the
the
food
80s.
on the plane, it looked good at first, but it had a smell to it.
Was the smoke
that-
in it?
It wasn't that. It was. I can't describe the smell, but I literally had that smell like in my nose for like the next 2 weeks.
Oh
It was awful.
gosh.
Gracious.
It was awful.
Mystery meat.
But when I ate it at first, like, oh, it's not that bad. You know, it's different than typical plain food you get, but
I wonder what that was. What did they serve you?
it's some kind of lamb.
Camel?
It might have been camel.
But I tell you what, though, I had one of the most not scariest experiences. All right, when I mean scary, it's not like my life was at risk, but
But kind of
this is flying
disturbing.
back. So I'm flying back from Uganda this is May of last year, by myself because I flew there by myself.
Yeah.
There were 2 other visitors who were leaving Uganda at the same time, and I spent the night before we flew out together at the same hotel. So we kind of were going together. So we get to the airport. It's always crazy there. It's
Yeah.
late night flight, hundreds of people, big crowd
Hundreds at night.
in the airport. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And we're in the line, so it's line where we check our bags. I didn't have any bags to check, but you check your bags, and it's like where you get your. So I'm making 2 flights. I'm flying to Brussels, and then I'm flying over to I think it was Newark, and then down here.
Okay.
So this is where you go because at the front leg of the trip, you always get all your tickets,
Yeah.
right?
Boarding pass.
Your boarding passes,
All
yeah.
that stuff.
For some reason, there was an issue because Brussels is connected with United Airlines. So the first leg is Brussels, going to Brussels, and then from Brussels into America is United.
Okay.
They work together. So it was okay. The first boarding pass from Entebbe, which is the airport in Uganda, to Brussels was fine. But for some reason, I can't remember why they're having issue getting the tickets, the boarding passes for Brussels to Newark. And it's not like you have to get them all there. You can't just get one and then get the other one in Brussels.
Yeah.
So we're all in line.
yeah.
Usually you go 2 hours ahead before your flight leaves so you can get through customs, security,
Yeah.
right? So we literally spent the first 2 hours all in line waiting and waiting. They're on the phone. They're figuring out what's going on.
Wow.
Eventually, slowly by slowly, some people's boarding passes are coming through. So some
Yeah.
are being able to go.
So far, it sounds fairly normal, but
It sounds like planes, trains, and automobiles.
No.
Yeah.
This was like
this was
literally-
worse.
Well, this is the 2 hours. Like I said, we get there 2 hours ahead. I'm like, okay, we'll get through.
gosh.
It'll be 30 minutes, and then we'll be sitting in the waiting place before we board for the next hour and a half. That's what I'm used to my flights. But we literally the first place we haven't got through security or anything. All 2 hours of the flight, 2 hours of the the extra time we gave ourselves. We're waiting there. And everyone goes on. I am literally the last person to leave that line because
my
for some
goodness.
reason my boarding pass is just not working. And literally, my 2 friends, they were staying with me for a
They don't
while.
want you to
They
escape.
got theirs, but they were nice. And they eventually, we can't.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
gotta
better
go.
the 2 of
We
them
gotta
go,
go, yeah.
rather than...
Instead of
yeah.
all 3 of us having to buy new tickets because I missed the flight.
Good grief.
So finally they go, and I'm the only one there. And I go up to the guy. I'm like, "Hey, am I gonna make this flight?" And he's like, and the guy's like, "No, you will. I'm like, "Bro, the flight leaves at 11:30, and it's 11:20." And now, obviously, the flight, they're not going to take off exactly.
Do you want your soup?
That's empty.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
They're not going
Doesn't
to take
seem
off
like it's-
It was good.
exactly at 11:30. But I'm
Sorry.
oh man, I thought I was going to miss the flight. It's a midnight. The guy who dropped us off at the airport, he's probably driven back an hour.
So you would have been
I
stranded.
would have been stranded.
You're, like, stuck in the airport for
Also,
like days.
this is during COVID, so
Oh,
I had a
gosh.
COVID test
Oh my god.
that had to be 48 hours. The next nearest flight, the next flight that would go out was 2 days in
Man,
advance.
that's rough, dude.
So I'd have to retake a COVID test. Basically, 11, like there's like 5 minutes till my flight leaves. They finally give it to me, and I just book it through the airport.
But you made it.
What?
You made it.
I made it. But
Thank
it
God.
was kind of cool, literally, because usually you like go through security, there's super long lines, but the fact that like literally every flight leaving was already boarded and about to leave, everything was empty. So I'm just flying through security. I'm going through customs. It almost was like everyone was going as fast as they could for me. It felt kind of, in that way, it was great. I literally am running across the runway. It was one of those things where
You're running across the runway.
well, it wasn't a thing where you have that you walk down that thing into the plane. For this one, you walk downstairs and you walked across part of the runway up these stairs.
Okay,
So
yeah,
you literally
yeah.
are on the runway.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So I'm running up the plane's right there. I run up the stairs.
Why are you running?
Go into my seat, and I was just so thankful.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was like this.
Just gotta get on the plane, bro.
I have never been more thankful to be on a plane.
Man, and I thought travel centers here were bad. Airports, international airports especially. But I can't imagine one in. I mean, did you go to a third world country?
This was a unique experience where
Yeah,
for some reason
just a lot of stuff went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my last experience flying, and I was like, I need a break from that.
Like, I have done some international flying, but man, none of it was like during COVID or anything like that.
Because COVID, you had to get tested and everything. It was
crazy.
It was a mess. But
Well, that'll mess you up.
that was the main thing I did not like about having the traveling sucked. But other than
Don't blame
that,
you.
it was great. How many? So y'all have been out of the country?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
That's great.
Not as many as I would have liked though.
Well, yeah, I want to travel more. I just don't like that they hate Americans wherever you go. I want to like
That's
go.
not
That's
true.
not true. You haven't been.
No.
Well,
places.
sometimes in a place where they like the tourist money, you know.
Yeah.
Not a lot of places. Yeah, I mean, but not. We mean we're not enemies. With
I remember when I was
everybody.
younger, I thought it's ridiculous. So many Americans haven't even left their country. But
Yeah.
you gotta think about how big America is.
It is
It's
large.
huge.
It's like
the
each
size of
state
several
is a
countries
country in
put
and of its
together.
own.
Literally, it's the size of
Almost.
Europe almost.
Yeah, I think it might be.
It's
a
bigger.
little bit bigger.
Much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much. I wouldn't say much.
Well, if you add
much
Alaska
bigger,
and stuff,
yeah.
it is bigger.
You include the.
Alaska's
That's
huge.
Well, I guess if you just
Bunch
count the
of freaking
contiguous United
Yeah.
States.
yeah. So the fact if someone like grows up in like Missouri, and in the middle of the U.S.,
That would sound
Yeah.
miserable.
Missouri is a great state. I was there recently. Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's Ohio, you know.
Okay.
What's it about
Just
Ohio?
some Ohio smack
No,
talk.
I had
We're gonna
a
rank our states.
I had a friend.
Oh
from-
yeah,
I had a
that's why
friend,
there's 50 of them, so you can make a list.
I had a friend from Ohio in grad school who told everybody, "Don't go to Ohio." So I'm just going off of what an Ohioan told me, you know.
I'm thinking of Wyoming. Wyoming is kind of barren, isn't it?
You know what a state I would love to live in?
A state of confusion.
Probably because of the show we've been watching, Montana.
Oh my.
I thought the show was
goodness.
in
It's so
Wyoming.
beautiful.
No, it's Montana.
Wait,
Wait, you thought
where's Yellowstone? I've never been to
Yellowstone does dip into a few different
Yeah.
states?
But this
It's in a couple
particular
states.
ranch we're on is the
Is
show
in
we're
Montana.
talking about is
Yellowstone.
Well,
Great show.
This
Great show.
season's just come out
by Paramount.
It's on Paramount. We started the first season together. I've already watched all 4 seasons, but I'm showing to these guys. Great show. Go check it out. Maybe one day Yellowstone will sponsor this. Why are you picking apart the pineapple?
Stop hurting the pineapples.
Y'all like
I'm
pine-
more concerned about the pineapples than I am about you throwing
Let's
those things
take
at
a
me.
poll of our viewers real quick. If we can ever get this episode up, are pineapples Christmassy? Are they
I feel
Christmas
like in Hawaii,
decorations?
they are Christmassy.
Mele Kalikimaka. I
Mele
don't care what
Kalikimaka,
state they're
hombres.
Christmas in.
When
You see a pineapple, do you think of Christmas?
No, but that could just be me.
You could be wrong, yes.
I could be very wrong.
Yeah.
But
I could be wrong.
Because Christmas, when
Easily.
you always think of Christmassy, you think of cool times, winter.
Well,
around the
there's
fire.
one thing though.
during
There's one
Christmas,
thing though.
half of the world is experiencing summer.
Yeah, hang on. There's one thing though. One of the things that people kind of sometimes associate with Christmas, and this was kind of a thing in like the 19th century, they kind of associated it with tropical fruits because the tropical fruits they grow all year round, so
Right.
down there. And so, like, if you've ever read, like, the Little House on the Prairie books, it was, like, a big thing for them to get, like, an
Oranges.
orange at Christmas, and
Exactly.
my parents always used to put, like, these massive oranges the size of our heads in our, like, Christmas stockings because it was just like I don't know. So I think
stand
pineapples
corrected.
kind of could be Christmassy, I think.
Thank you, Joseph.
I stand corrected.
You have affirmed my choice of Christmas decoration.
We should, instead of a Christmas tree, just get a massive pineapple.
Yes,
A
as big as you can.
huge pineapple.
ornaments on
It's
it.
the great
You hang cherries
pineapple,
off
Charlie Brown.
Speaking of Christmas trees, we have Joseph to thank for this.
That's right.
Yes, that's
Piece of
my
work
my tree, lads.
So yeah, kind of decorate it. We have a Christmas tree ornaments. We got ornaments in the back a bit,
Yeah.
and then we have two
Yep.
pineapples.
And
Yep.
don't forget the Snoopy blanket.
And don't
and the
forget,
Snoopy blanket.
And
Can't
Woodstock.
forget that.
Um,
Who doesn't watch Charlie? Who doesn't know Charlie Brown? Y'all watch Charlie Brown?
Probably a lot
yeah,
of
I've seen
people
it.
from like foreign countries.
Yeah. Okay. That's
China.
true. But
China.
Charlie Brown is hilarious. Like
Oh, my
the part
goodness.
where they're like dancing.
That's a tradition. Yeah, y'all ever watch Charlie Brown?
You know,
Christmas around this time?
surprisingly, Charlie Brown. If you go back and watch Charlie Brown, the amount of scripture they quote in it,
Yeah.
is so
Oh my
good.
goodness.
Literally,
That's why I like
who's
it.
the one kid? The one
Beethoven.
Kid. No, he literally recites the entire.
Is that not?
I mean, in
Breath
the
of
Oh,
Jesus.
like
the-
literally in the
the
Charlie
dirty
Brown.
guy, right?
Yeah, he literally
What's
recites.
it? Pigpen.
He recites all the verses.
Like
He does.
literally in the Charlie Brown Christmas special, they're all like arguing about what Christmas is about, and
Yeah.
then I
He
can't
gets
remember who it
up
is.
and-
Is it Pigpen?
It is
It might
Pigpen.
be-
But, like,
yeah,
he's
he
like-
gets up and
he's
goes
like,
into this
have-
monologue.
He's like, here's what Christmas is about, and he talks about Christ,
it's
and
a
it's
really
simple
it's amazing.
I don't ever remember watching like a whole. Was it a movie? I don't even. Was it an episode? A
It's
show?
just a
I
short.
feel like it
it's
was
like
like
a
a
30,
TV
40 minute
special. It's
TV
like a-
special. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, I need to watch that. Coming up soon here. It's the third day of Advent
Yeah.
that we're recording this on, December 3rd.
Yeah. In like in England and other former British colonies, they celebrate a thing called Boxing Day
Boxing
I'm
Day.
familiar, yeah.
after Christmas.
Don't they
Is
do
it
that in
time to
Canada?
box,
I
lads?
think so. Canada is a
Sorry to
Commonwealth.
British listeners.
Canada
But,
is
But basically,
a
what it
failed
is
social
you,
experiment.
You open up all your new presents on Christmas, and then Boxing Day, you can go and all the old ones that you don't need anymore, you box up and give to
Yeah.
people who need them.
Oh, so it's not about boxing. I always thought
No.
there was
No.
some stupid British reason to do with boxing. Once
It's just
again,
a way to
apologies our
encourage
British fans.
charity and,
Yeah.
pass on things you don't need anymore.
Makes sense.
But
Makes
But if you
sense.
think about it, though,
Because a lot of people.
it's a nice
just,
notion.
A lot of people just collect too much stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
resemble that remark.
You resemble. But yeah.
Man. Well, I was gonna say earlier, and I don't know why. I guess neither of you thought of this, but when you were saying that your memory from Africa when you were watching, World Cup on the tube TV with the whole village and
lads.
everything, you said it was Germany versus Argentina.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Isn't that the
why.
same thing?
I was gonna say I don't know how the irony was. I don't know
You're getting banned
who was.
tonight, boys.
I don't know if the irony was lost on them at the time or not. Maybe they just don't know about that history. But after the war, a lot of German generals and scientists and soldiers defected to Argentina.
Yeah. We were
So-
just watching a football match,
I'm sure it just seemed to be a little funny to me.
and Germany won. The thing that stands out
Oh,
from
yeah.
that game is the epic German last names. There's
Oh,
one,
yeah.
Schweinsteiger. The
Schweizenheimer.
commentator was like, Schweinsteiger,
Steppenwolf.
Schweinsteiger, Schweinsteiger.
Schnurzenhuber.
Honestly, and I know a lot of Dutch names are cool too.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
Van Dyke.
Schnorchen.
Wait, isn't
It's
Van
Eyck.
Eyck.
Van Eyck.
Deutschland is
Aachen
German?
sounds kind of Dutch.
Aachen, it is.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Honestly, you put a Van in front of Van Auken, that would be like a typical Dutch name.
Dutch as heck.
Caleb Van Auken. If I lived in the
Does that make you a
Netherlands
duke?
and I played in
The Duke?
Bless you.
The Duke of Deutschland?
maybe.
I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. What are you
Um,
doing? Don't touch
we
it.
don't either.
Don't touch it. You'll mess
How
it
many
up.
minutes we at?
I read it upside down at first. I thought it said 93. It says 39.
I was gonna say it's like we've not been talking for 93.
39, bro.
An hour and a half.
I
It's
swear,
gone by.
this
It's a whole
camera's
sleep
off.
cycle. You want to get up and check,
No.
just so we don't.
Camera
I would
check,
check.
lads.
If you don't want to, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Okay.
We checked
Just in
the
case
camera,
this part
boys.
doesn't get cut out last time, what was supposed to be our first episode
We may
ended
put up our
after
original
4
first
minutes
episode as a
because my phone was out of storage space.
It was
So
out
we
of
only got the
storage.
first 4 minutes and 3 seconds of
Thankfully,
video
this will be
recording.
it for only the first episode and only episode that we've
Yeah.
recorded with with phones. We got cameras on the
Yeah,
way.
we getting some good cameras, boys.
And it's a blessing that we have. We shouldn't take for granted
Yeah.
that we have these devices that
One-
can record high
Never
quality
thought I'd say
4K
this, but
60
thank the Lord
FPS.
for Amazon Prime.
One thing about this podcast, we're just three regular guys, regular jobs. We
Well,
gotta be close
2
to our
regular guys,
podcast.
and then there's me.
Yes.
That's funny. I was
We
just
don't
about
have-
to say the same thing.
We don't have all the fancy gadgets.
Joseph
we
and I
don't
need to
have
repent of
the
our pride.
money for all that. So
Bro, we don't need fancy gadgets.
we got lighting and we got microphones and we got cameras.
Sony, bro.
That's all we need.
Yep.
And also, I didn't say this earlier, but as this will be our primary setup where we're at. It's like this could be our main studio.
Yep.
In so many words, that could change over time. But we also expect to see it at different venues, maybe
Yeah.
outside.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the setup we have is so minimal but effective.
can
It's
take it
easy to take
anywhere.
on the go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
And honestly, if we ever in a place where we can't use these mics, you just take the mic out and hold it in hand.
Yeah. I want to talk to you guys a little bit later about, maybe off the air, about some traveling we might do soon.
Yeah. Ooh.
But
Is this
Anyway, let's
about
let's
something
not-
let's talk
different
about-
from what I'm
Let's
thinking
not
about?
bore the viewers.
right,
with
I was
the-
gonna say
the
back to the
logistics
theme of the
this.
episode. As far as Christmas goes, this year I started something that I haven't done before that I was inspired to do by a post on Twitter I saw from somebody about reading the book of Luke during Advent, because it's
Yeah.
one chapter a day. It's 24 chapters
Oh,
finished
yeah.
by Christmas.
Makes sense.
I was wondering, this is my first time doing it. I was wondering if you guys have any other traditions. Doesn't have to be Advent related specifically, but any other
Or
traditions that
even,
pertain to the.
Well, I'm gonna start doing what you're
Okay.
doing. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
any other
Got some catching up to do.
traditions? I don't really have that many traditions.
Are you like one of those people who opens a gift on Christmas Eve?
Oh yeah,
Really?
we do that.
Okay, so you're rich.
We'd always like our mom would
Kidding.
always let us do it, and then we'd always be like, "Come on, one more." She's like, if you keep opening them, they're gonna be none for tomorrow.
You're just gonna finish all the presents on Christmas Eve.
And I mean, especially you get to the point as the older you get, the less presents, which is fine. But when you're younger, I remember one Christmas, our tree, like for some reason people were really generous to us that year because the amount of presents, like my mom always felt bad because it was so high.
Oh my goodness.
Like it was a ton of presents. Like each of us had like 8 presents to open. I don't know why. They're not like these big giant presents.
And that
for
was
each
all
one.
donated?
Not donated. Just people, our missionary friends,
Yeah.
relatives and family from America sent it to us. But,
Yeah, that's great to see how the Lord provides.
yeah,
I'm sure that was a exciting time for y'all as kids to be like, man.
yeah. I mean, Christmas. That's what Christmas is about. But that's one of the beauties
in the spirit of
Christmas is to be generous with one another and to give.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that is, yeah, there's always the danger of thinking, oh, Christmas is about presents. But I mean, kind of the original reason for like presents and all that stuff, it's really because it was a celebration of God's generosity in giving us Christ. So I think
Yeah.
that it's all this stuff.
He gave the perfect gift.
All this
Yeah.
stuff is supposed to be something. It's supposed to be something that, unfortunately, we've kind of twisted it into something that we kind of use as an excuse to kind of take Christ for granted. But most of the traditions that we do on Christmas, I mean, some of them, honestly, some of them are a little bit heathen. But most of the traditions that we do on Christmas are designed. They're not designed to distract us from Christ. They're actually designed to kind of remind us of Christ, which, I mean, that's what when I was a kid, I was all about, oh, yeah, I love presents. I love Santa and
every kid
reindeer.
is.
But, like, now I'm just like, yeah, that's, despite the hat that I'm wearing, all that, like, just kind
Yeah.
of, all that materialistic stuff, even the kind of more heartfelt Santa stuff is kind of boring. More and more, the actual elements of Christmas that are actually more related to Christ are the things that I find more and more interesting every year. I love singing the hymns. I love
Amen.
Yeah.
I love like I love meditating on the magnitude of Christ's birth at this time. It's just so like it's like festive, but there's like a joyous seriousness or serious joyousness behind everything. I'm not sure which one is first, but
both.
Yeah, there's something like
question.
that. Yeah.
Back to the topic of presents. Would you say you got
back to the important topic?
I know better, but like, would you say like your birthday presents were like more and like I don't know how to say this, but better compared to Christmas? Because for me, like my parents always did like birthday presents were a bit bigger and Christmas presents were a bit smaller and maybe a little bit more, like multiple ones.
I'm not
What
sure.
would you say? Like when you woke up as a kid, were you more excited for the presents you get on your birthday or at Christmas? For me, I would say my birthday.
That's a good question.
At this point, I'm more excited for.
Not right now. I'm talking about as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't care about
Well, I was gonna say.
Just kidding.
at this point, I'm more excited for any time of vacation, including weekends. But when I was a young lad, I was more. I'm not sure if I could say. I feel like it depended year by year. It kind of depended on kind of whether or not there was like a specific big thing that I was expecting. Like I can't remember when I got my
Like a BB gun.
Yeah, I never got I never got the Red Ryder because I would have shot my eye out. But like I feel like I don't
Parents are wise in not giving that.
I don't remember whether it was birthday or Christmas when I like got my first guitar.
Ooh, yeah.
But whichever, I think it might have actually been Christmas. It was kind of a big thing for me.
Because you're such an instrumentalist now.
Sort of.
Well, for those of you who don't know, we'll go ahead and burst the bubble now. Joseph was actually the one. He did the entire introduction for this podcast.
Indeed.
On his
Original
own, 100%. It's so good. We heard it for the first time today when we're recording this episode. And it'll be tied to this episode. But it is honestly, it's really outstanding work.
Yeah. You make my face turn the same color as my shirt.
Well,
now you look more like
we're just,
young Santa.
Now we appreciate the hard work you put in. You know, all three of us, I feel like, have put,
you guys have done a lot of work,
blood,
bro.
and tears into this podcast. Not literally, but
I have done almost nothing.
Any podcast takes work in it.
But
you bought two of the mics.
Yeah, I guess.
I bought a camera.
After we split it, yeah. I didn't buy them directly. We split the cost.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
that
that
way you ordered the two mics though.
Did I really?
And I ordered two.
Really?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
So we've all done it. We've all had it.
But back to what Joseph was saying. Yeah, I mean the whole purpose of Advent. Something I heard recently that was, I think it was a quote by, it's either John MacArthur or J.C. Ryle, was that
great quote, guys.
Well, thank you. I mean, it would be great if I could remember who it was, but they said something about
clearly not
the
no, I mean, they're great guys for quotes. They got lots of great quotes.
That's true. The magnitude of Advent cannot be truly seen without looking to the cross.
Yeah.
That the condescension of God in the manger as a little baby, innocent and vulnerable, translates to knowing that was the same God-man, Christ, the beloved Son of God, giving his life on the cross as the propitiation for the sins of wretched men like you and me.
Yeah, that's right.
And like you were saying, that's something that should capture us more, like you were saying, Joseph. And I agree with you, and I'm so glad you said that. That the older I get, the less I'm concerned with material gifts, although they are still nice. And it's good to receive a gift from somebody you love, always.
And
but
it
it's
shows their love for you.
Exactly. It does really point more towards Christ. And just like Paul says, I believe it's Paul, thanks be to God for the unspeakable gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't have like a huge amount of spare cash lying around. It looks like I do, but I just have a lot of random stuff that I've collected over like...
What's that bag under your pillow?
Almost... What?
Huh?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, gosh dang it, dude. Almost like, 30 years of just collecting random crap. But,
Yeah, Josh, you already checked for a bank in the place. There's nothing.
Yeah. One of the things that I do like to do is, always keep an eye out for some little random thing. And of course, it's usually not an expensive thing, but if I can find some just little random thing that I think will, mean something to someone in my family, I try to pick up something that I can give somebody on birthdays, on Christmas, whatever. Like like when I go up for Christmas to visit my mom's family in Pennsylvania, I'm gonna bring some stuff. I'm definitely bring some stuff for my cousin, and then we also do like a little white elephant gift exchange. And I don't know, I like once again, I don't like spending a whole lot of stuff for presents, but I do like trying to find stuff that I think brings joy into my family's lives and my friends' lives. And
you might want to bring the mic in just a little bit.
Sorry. I don't know if y'all heard anything that I was saying.
They heard.
Okay, it was
not
just
like
quiet.
they would hear it, but just
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I thought
Christmas is a great time.
I thought it had to be your fist between the mic.
Christmas is a great time to take advantage of.
Come on, England.
Showing how, expressing your love to your loved ones.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
See, when I was a kid, I was like, "Yay, what am I going to get?" But now it's like,
what can I give?
Yeah, I do like. I mean, some. Me and my family argue so
Ask
frequently,
not what
but
gifts are given to you, but what gifts you can give to others.
Yeah, that sounds like
FDR.
yeah.
That was JFK.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh. Well,
I got my initials mixed up.
sometimes they can be confused together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So I am terrible at gift giving. So you kind of just wait until
I liked your gifts. He brought some gifts for us. They were good gifts.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Terrible gift. What are you talking about?
They were amazing.
I mean, it was kind of
Watch
impersonal.
out, ladies.
Yeah, exactly. We
Not
got
a sponsor.
cologne. We got candy.
I intentionally got things that would make y'all smell worse, so I would have a better chance after the women.
Absolute strategic genius.
Hopefully,
Grand Admiral Thrawn level
you spray that?
strategic genius, bros.
Hopefully, someday we can say, "Hidden Dagger is brought to you by Refined."
Oh yeah,
Comments,
sponsored.
Guys, what if we made our own cologne brand someday? That would be so cool.
Well, you know how they did it back during the Roman days. At least I think they did this. What they would do is they would find a really successful gladiator who was really popular with the people.
Take his sweat,
they
make
would
it into
wait
perfume.
until he went to the public baths, and they would take a seashell and scrape his skin, like the dead skin and the oil and like the sweat that comes off of him, and then they would mix that in with like water and other oil and make it perfume for women because it smelled
that sounds gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. That's what they.
Romans,
Is that
dude.
real?
The Romans did some crazy things.
Read that
bro.
somewhere. I don't know if it was real or if it was like historical fiction, but
Oh, that
I wouldn't be
strikes me
surprised. They did some weird stuff,
That strikes me
especially
as
in the
something
bathhouses.
That strikes me as something the Romans would do, definitely.
Yeah. So if we were gonna do it, we should definitely do the same thing. Skin scraping. I don't know which one of you wants to volunteer
I'll do it, boys.
to have your skin scraped, but
I'm sweating all the time, lads.
I'm good.
perfect. Yeah.
I'm good.
That would be cool. Yeah. What if we had some Hidden Dagger branded merch?
But I mean, we'll probably start with stuff like t-shirts and hats, but I feel like a coffee brand eventually, a cologne brand.
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a bit.
Yeah, I know.
It's fun to
I'm
dream.
just spitballing off the top of my head, lads.
Dream is, exactly as he said. It's fun to dream.
Yeah.
But I think it's
T-shirts
serious about.
T-shirts are fine.
We're gonna put our as much effort and commitment into this podcast as possible. Again, we have regular jobs, and this is just a side hustle. But as long as we're able to maintain this, I personally, and I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we want to keep this as much as possible. Now, circumstances may arise where, who knows what the future holds. And obviously, with the help of the internet, you can host a podcast from any part of the world as long as you have an internet connection.
Yep.
Now, I prefer in-person podcasts, but if we have to go virtual at some point, whether it be guests that we bring on or if one of us moves away and we still want to keep this up, it's not hard to bring in as long as you have a mic and a camera.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
And as for having somebody remotely, virtually calling in with the podcast, I do know. Actually, for all I know, my brother might be able to help out a little bit with that, at least with just some kind of knowledge of what equipment we should use, because I know he's done some streaming and stuff, so he might be able to actually kind of.
Let's not get into too much of the logistics.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna stream. I think we're gonna stick with recorded episodes.
Whatever
stream, that would be
happens,
interesting.
you'll enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
You will. You don't have a choice.
I will make sure that it's fun.
But also, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform this is on. Thumbs it up, like it, drop a comment. If we do want feedback from our listeners.
Absolutely. Yes.
If you have any reviews that you want to give, depending on what platform
we can do better.
you're
This
on.
is our first time as podcasters.
Yeah.
We listen and watch a lot of podcasts, and this is our first go at it. So be patient with us.
Oh yeah.
Please.
As we go, as
Be
we
patient,
start
I have
this
autism.
journey. But yeah, that's what sort of the plan. The Hidden Dagger Podcast, hosted by Joshua, Joseph,
Caleb. Yeah, that's
and,
right.
Eventually, we'll get Joseph's last name. But
No, you won't. You never will.
Starts with a P.
You're freaking cutting that out. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
No,
right.
we won't. Staying in.
We're gonna keep. Well,
we're
we're gonna. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, as a plan.
We're gonna keep working on this. It's gonna be. Yeah, it's a work in progress. If you,
The biggest thing I want from this podcast is us to have fun.
Exactly. It's gonna
If
be.
after we do this podcast for 6
entertaining.
months and we have no viewers or like only like 10 viewers, hey, we
We'll
had
still
fun.
have fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And 3
Filled
of those
with
will be
mirth
us.
and a joyous whimsy.
Yeah. You guys, I think too.
Merriment,
I think
lads.
right now that we're stage in life, we have a lot of personal growth to do. I don't mean that in like a self-improvement way. I mean spiritual growth and
Maturity.
maturity.
We're all
Yeah,
young.
maturity. I was thinking.
Except for Joseph, he's old.
I am old. You're right. I
He's
am an old
28.
lad. I'm an old lad. If you guys,
You know what they say? After 25, it's downhill. So,
you know
I don't
what?
know about you.
I'm not gonna disagree.
I don't plan on peaking until I'm 50.
Well, that's
you might
that's
not
a
even
good
be
call,
around
bro.
at 50.
That might be as far as I make it, but that year will be the last one will be the best one.
Some people say if you're only as young as you feel. If you can keep it up that long, then more power to you, bro.
My plan
Oh, yeah.
is to die young as late as I can. Think about that.
You
one.
just make that up.
I'm trying to.
That was wild.
I'm trying to think about that one. Yeah.
That was what?
Put that on a T-shirt.
So
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
That was good.
it's pretty good.
That was
It's pretty
good, yeah.
Yeah. So
Die young as late as you
are
can.
we kind of getting close to the end here? 'Cause
Yes,
I don't
we're
know.
about to hit the outro.
Yes. Do you need to
Because-
use the restroom?
You think maybe we? Well, actually, not quite yet. You think maybe
He was
we?
moving his
I do.
legs a lot.
You think
Yeah.
maybe we should like? I always do that. I have restless legs and but like, do you think?
I would like to do the outro.
Do you think that maybe we could like do like a brief kind of introduction of
At the end?
ourselves?
We can do that in the next episode.
What do you mean?
Who cares? They'll
Like-
get to know us over time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
Plus,
right.
I mean,
We should.
no offense, but
It's
as
not
the
too-
person who's always worried about doxing us, which, that's a good thing to think about.
Well, I mean,
Shouldn't we just
an
try and
introduction,
keep it low-key?
not about our like personal not about our like public or private whatever lives, but kind of more about kind of our interests, the things that we think are cool.
Oh,
They
well,
will-
I think,
they'll learn
yeah.
about
I think
that
that'll
as-
be kind of something that
y'all
evolves
gonna
over
learn,
time.
y'all gonna learn.
You're going to learn. You won't
So,
learn
Josh,
today.
you want to hit us with the outro?
Yeah, I'd like to. I just wanted to say, first of all, that it's my genuine pleasure to get to do this with you guys.
Indeed.
This is a very particular and unique opportunity I didn't think would ever be afforded to me. And I think as we all come into the realization of what this is and what it means for us as people, we'll be humbled by the process that we see the Lord takes us through here. As to whether this succeeds or whether it doesn't, we know that ultimately all things are for our good and His glory. So with that said, Joseph, Jacob, Joshua,
You botched my
Caleb.
name.
Yeah.
Wow.
and
I know he's
that
been for a
is
year.
the Hidden Dagger Podcast. That's all, folks.